Hey everyone, I hope that you're all enjoying the really great warm weather that's going on. I'm a warm weather person, so I really like it. Hey, today I wanted to stop by and I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about gluten-free. I've had quite a few people lately ask me about going gluten-free or the gluten-free diet, and gluten-free is not really meant to be a diet. Gluten-free is not another fad diet for everybody to try. Gluten-free is specifically for people with certain disease processes. If you don't have one of the disease processes that I'll visit with you about in just a second, and go all gluten-free, it can have a negative effect on you because you're going to end up lacking a lot of those nutrients and vitamins and minerals that you need in your body. So gluten-free is specifically for celiac disease, which I'm gonna talk about just a little bit. It's really beneficial with people with irritable bowel syndrome, and also with some people use it with autism and things like that. But it needs to be something that you talk with your doctor about. And it's, those diseases that gluten-free is used for is not something that us common folk can diagnose ourselves. It's something that you really need to go be seen at the doctor for. And like always, I'll put more information on my website, fightforyoucoaching.com, underneath my blog section so that you guys can read about it there. But I just kind of wanted to give you a little bit of an insight. Like I said, I've been asked about gluten-free lately, so I had to do a lot of research and educating myself as well because I wasn't real familiar with it. But I am finding out, for those of you that do need to be gluten-free, there are so many amazing products out there now, and things that you can get at the grocery store. One of the tips that I can give you is that you really need to make sure that you're watching your labels and stuff, because just because it says that it's gluten-free doesn't necessarily mean that it was made in a gluten-free factory. And you can get gluten from so say you use a cutting board and you cut something up that's not gluten-free. If you don't sanitize that and clean it properly, that gluten can transfer to whatever you make next. And if you have somebody with a gluten-free intolerance, that will come off onto that and cause them a reaction. And guys, I'm finding out that gluten is not just in foods. Gluten is in a ton of like makeup and lipstick and hairspray products. So people that are gluten intolerant really have to watch for that. But one of the number one reasons that people go gluten-free is because they have a disease that's called celiac disease. And what it is that our small intestines get in, when you ingest gluten, then it attacks our small intestines. So I'm not much of an artist, but I drew a little bit of a picture so you guys can get a better understanding of what it is. So this is a picture. Oh, you can't really see it. This is a picture of our small intestines. Great artist work, huh? And those little projections right there, what we call villi, and they're like finger-like projections that move like this. They are what help absorb the nutrients of our food in our small intestines. When we ingest gluten, or not we, when people with celiac disease ingest gluten, it attacks our small intestine, which affects those little finger-like projections and damages them. Then the body's not able to absorb those nutrients from the food that they need to. It also makes people that are celiac, makes them really sick. And I'm going to also put some more information about celiac disease because, when I first started on my journey, I thought that gluten-free was just another fad that everybody was doing, but it's really important and needs just to be a little bit more researched. I'm also going to share with you guys some really good products and what you can switch out for your products so that if you really truly need to be gluten-free, then you know what you can use to switch out, because there's so many other alternatives. But again, guys, I just wanted to let you know that do not just do gluten-free because you think it's a fad diet and it's going to make you healthier or skinnier. That's not the case. That was not what gluten free was made for. It was really made for people that needed it and that had the diseases that required it to be. And I know in our social media and in our advertising, you hear all this gluten-free, gluten-free, gluten-free. That's why I always encourage you guys to make sure that you do your own research, because until now I did not know that unless you truly needed to be gluten-free, that it could have such a negative impact on you and your health. So please go ahead when I post it and look at my blog to find out some more information on whether or not gluten-free is really for you. And it's not a decision I think that you need to make on your own. I think it's a decision that needs to be made with your healthcare provider, especially with something as serious as this. So I'm going to list some foods for you that are really truly gluten-free, so that you can kind of, if you're just new at this and you don't know what you can use, I did a lot of research for foods to interchange with. But again, don't go gluten free unless it's something that you really need to do, and do your own education. And if you guys have a specific question that you would like for me to answer, because again, I did a lot of research, pop it in the comments and I'll be more than happy to get back to you and answer any questions that I can. And like always, if I can't answer it, I have got a network of people that are awesome at these kind of things that can help me answer any questions that you have. You guys have a great day, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.